going, you guys? Welcome back to another Most Amazing Top 10 video. I'm Landon, and I'm so excited to be doing 2 videos a week for you guys. It's a whole lot more work, but it's so worth it. I get to spend more time with you guys. I get to teach you guys stuff. You guys teach me stuff in the comment section. So let me start off asking you guys this. What do you guys not like about school? Also, what top 10 do you want to see next? So this right here is the top 10 most successful people who dropped out of school. These people became successful for dropping out of school, but I'm not advising you guys to drop out of school. You guys gotta stay in school, get your grades up, and be successful. So coming in at number 10, we have Mark Wahlberg. He dropped out of high school at 14 years old for a life of crime, selling drugs, and committing robberies. Mark was a troubled youth. At the age of 16 years old, he spent 45 days in prison for assault to a man. When he was released, he was eager to turn his life around to become a good boy. He auditioned to join New Kids on the Block, but he didn't get the part. His brother actually did. So that's when he decided to join his own rap group. He was known as Marky Mark, so he called it Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. His debut album was a huge success and he found fame worldwide. Calvin Klein then signed him for a modeling contract. We all remember him in his underwear. You guys are probably like, damn. You guys are probably like, no. And then he started working for featured film. Today he has an estimated net worth of $200 million. That is about $200 million more than me. And for his high school education, he decided to go for his diploma. He graduated in 2013 at the age of 42. Up next, in at number 9, we have a British bad boy. You guys probably know him. Simon Cowell. He dropped out of a prestigious private school at the age of 16. Simon's father was a music industry executive, but that didn't mean Simon had his career handed to him. His first job was the mailroom at record label EMI. He worked his way up in the company and started his own record label. His big break came in 2001 when he, alongside television producer Simon Fuller, created Pop Idol, and that was a huge success. Hollywood took notice of this, and the next year American Idol was launched by him. Simon was the host for 10 seasons. From there he moved on to America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, and X Factor. Let's just say this guy's done pretty awesome things, and his net worth currently is $550 million. And his total annual income is about 95 mil. Okay, taking a little break from show business, we have Harold David Sanders, who you guys know as Colonel Sanders, aka the KFC guy, you know. Well, he comes in to number 8. He dropped out of high school in the 7th grade. Harland has made many careers before he started cooking chicken. He first worked as a farmhand, and then he lied about his age to try to get into the army before you're allowed to go. Following a stint in Cuba, he worked in the railroad maintenance as well as a streetcar conductor, and then he worked as an insurance salesman. Later he set up a manufacturer company, and he earned himself a law degree in which he worked as a lawyer. As he was approaching his 50s, he decided, you know what, I want to open up a gas station, and inside that gas station he used to serve chicken. This whole thing was in Kentucky. People took notice on how good this chicken was, and the word spread, and his business started to go up. So his chickens became a booming success, and then he called it KFC, which is simply Kentucky Fried Chicken. So then he decided to sell his business at the age of 74 years old for about $3.5 million. If only he knew to keep it, and it would be worth much more. He could have kept it in the family. Today it becomes the 2nd largest restaurant chain after McDonald's. In respect to him creating the company, his face remains as the official logo, and KFC currently has revenues in the billions of dollars. Laughing their way into number 7 spot, we have a very funny man that goes by the name of Jim Carrey. You might have heard of him. Well, he dropped out of school at the age of 16 years old. 16 tends to be the common age here, and this is so he can focus on his comedy. Jim's childhood was a tough one. His father lost his job when Jim was in his early teens, and the only way his family could afford a home was to live on a site of a factory and work as a custodian. The lifestyle and the 8-hour shift nights had Jim down in the dumps, and that's when he decided to give up on school and perfect his comedy. Soon enough, with his success, he was able to move his family into a home in Toronto. And today he's laughing his way all the way to the bank. I'd be laughing hysterically because this man is now worth $150 million. Up next, in at number 6, we have the Lord of the Ring director, Peter Jackson, who dropped out of school, you guys guessed it, at the age of 16 years old. He spent his entire childhood and teenage years making short films and developing his own special effect techniques. So for him, school got in the way of his creativity. He found work at a local newspaper as an apprentice engraver in the photography department, and he saved all of his money that he put toward his own featured films. He first featured Bad Taste, that was made on an ultra low budget, but somehow it made its way to Cannes Film Festival, and he received a lot of compliments for it. From there, the doors opened to fame and fortune. He is currently worth $450 million. Moving on, we have Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem, and he raps his way into number 5. Growing up in Detroit, Michigan, he was enrolled at Lincoln High School from 1986 to 1989. Young Marshall was already rapping in his teens and continued to miss class so he could rap battle on the street. This led him to staying in 9th grade for 3 consecutive years, but he didn't care. He was a rapper. And then he gave up on school altogether at the age of 17 years old. It was a waste of time for him and taking his time away from rapping and what he wants to do. It would take 10 years before he would drop the Slim Shady track, which became a certified triple platinum. Today he is estimated to be worth $190 million. Moving into number 4 spot, we have JayZ, who's got 99 problems, but no high school diploma isn't one of them. His real name is Sean Carter. He grew up in Brooklyn's toughest housing project and attended the same high school as, get this, Busta Rhymes and Biggie. That's how they became buddies. They started selling crack cocaine, realizing that they would earn a whole lot more money as drug dealers than, go to school and get an education, because you don't get paid for that. So they decided to drop out. As a dealer, he got shot at multiple times. They found themselves in a very dangerous situation, but the money helped set him up with his own record label, which his first record label was Rockefeller Records. And today, he has an estimated net worth of $550 million. In at number 3, we have David Karp, the creator of Tumblr, in which he sold to Yahoo for $1.1 billion. David was homeschooled in New York City and knew exactly what he wanted to focus on, which was computer science, realizing quickly that he could just teach himself faster and more efficiently than any teacher in his school. So he thought, you know what, I'm gonna quit, and he quit, you guys guessed it, at the age of 16 years old. And then he started focusing on building the blog site that we all know as Tumblr. How successful has that been? Damn. So for him, it paid off big, $1 billion. So of course he didn't take in that whole billion because you got costs, you got employees, you got roofing costs. But there's reports saying that he pocketed about $200 million, which is a lot of money. So with the other $800 million, he decided to pump back into the company and just grow it into a bigger mega business company. Okay, so flying its way into the number, we have British trailblazer Richard Branson. And he dropped out of school. I don't even have to tell you guys the age, you guys know it. For Richard, school wasn't a challenge, it was actually a nightmare. His dyslexia embarrassed him and his teacher referred to him as stupid and lazy. So eventually he dropped out and started his own newspaper, which was known as Student, and it became a smashing success. From there, the magazine began promoting the sale of the records, and Richard saw his next opportunity moving into the music industry with a retail store and a record company known as Virgin. He has continued to grow the Virgin empire, and now he has an estimated net worth of $4.8 billion. So I wonder what those teachers think of him now. So finally, we've all made it into the number 1 spot, and we're talking about Walt Disney. And he dropped out of high school. I'm not even gonna tell you guys the age. God damn. If you guys are 16 years old, stay in school. It just seems the prime age to drop out, but don't do it. So he quit school in order to join the army and fight in the World War I. Yeah, that makes him a little bit old, but he was too young at that time to join. So that's when he went to France to work for the Red Cross, where he drove an ambulance. A year later, he returned to America, but he didn't bother going back to school. Instead, he found work as a newspaper artist. He quickly found his calling and eventually set up his own business. He would experience many ups and many downs in his career, but his big break came in 1928 at the age of 27 years old, where he came out with Steamboat Willie starring Mickey Mouse. This short animation took the world by storm, and Walt continued to grow the Disney brand. It is an empire and business with endless imagination into what we see the company as today. So the company is valued at billions of dollars. We don't really know the true value because it's just so much. Last year's revenue was more than $48 billion. Disney currently right now has over 180,000 employees, and they come out with record-breaking movies each and every year. Walt Disney has gone on to be one of the most successful and memorable people in history. Imagine this, a world without Walt Disney, or a world with any of these guys that I've talked about on the top 10 list. So for these guys, it's kind of good that they dropped out of school. So there you guys have it. That was the top 10 most successful people who dropped out of school. Let me know if I've missed any. Who do you guys think should have been at number 1? That's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. I can't wait. So let me know what you guys think of these top 10 videos and what top 10 ideas you want to see me make next. If you guys like this one, don't forget to show the support by hitting that like button. It really keeps me motivated. And also hit that subscribe button as well. That way, as soon as I make a video, which is now 2 times a week, you guys will be the first ones notified. Okay, bye.